I could probably tell you better than a lot of people that there is a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog merchandise out there. Think of any product you can buy in any store right now off the top of your head. Oh god, not that, there's children here, jeez! But I guarantee you that there is most likely a Sonic version of it out there. There's a Sonic version of almost everything. Underwear? Yup. Frisbee? Oh yeah. Chinese finger traps? Okay, I said almost everything. But anyway, when you have so much merchandise, it's easy to see how it all compares to one another. Each company has its own style when making Sonic merch. A lot of the companies, all the way from action figures to ceramic banks, do an excellent job of what they want to achieve. But what happens when they don't? What happens when a company doesn't care, and all they want is that green stuff? That's what I'm going to find today. We are going to scrape the bottom of the barrel for the absolute most low-end, crappy, and worst Sonic merch out there. Without any further ado, let's go. Also, this is all my opinion, so chill out. Now first, I'm going to say that sometimes something may be objectively bad, but it doesn't mean it's really bad. For example, Jazwares. Okay, put down the pitchforks, because while yes, technically these are inaccurate and weird looking, that's just how Sonic looked at the time. When these came out, they were great, and people still love them today. Jazwares did a great job for the time. It's like how people love Mario's model from Mario 64, even though now it looks outdated and terrible, and would never fly in a game today. Son of a bitch! But anyway, you get the point. Let's start with Toy Island. Arguably the worst Sonic Master Toy partner line ever. Some of the big offenders here are their Superposer Sonic figure, which was released with these fantastic eyes, Amy with pink arms. They had these little bendy figures with a gold Sonic. No, not Super Sonic, just gold Sonic. They had these inflatable bop bags that finally let me kick Sonic's ass. And, oh yeah, everything else they ever made. Okay, it wasn't all bad, but nearly every figure they made was in some cheesy stance. It was clearly for kids and didn't have collectors in mind whatsoever. And it doesn't help that the whole line was basically revolved around Sonic X for the later half of its life. And as an honorable mention, here's the terrifying canceled Toy Island plush line. Now we've got the infamous stuff Jazwares has made. Well, they started just re-releasing Toy Island stuff. That's a great start. Then they started the mythical 3-inch line, which is considered the greatest Sonic toy line in merch history. But move out of the way quality, it's Juvie time. For every Blaze the Cat 3-inch figure they made, there was a Juvie shadow. Almost everybody hates these things, and I mean, look at them. Why buy these weird stylized things when you could buy something that's perfectly game accurate? Plus, this goes beyond being stylized, this is just dumb looking. It's like a pop figure, but worse. And for some reason, they bothered making the Metal Sonic one exclusive to San Diego Comic-Con. Moving on, we have these weird, tiny, flocked figures of Sonic, Knuckles, Shadow, and Amy. Why no Tails? Out of all the characters they could have chosen, Tails would have been the perfect one. His whole design revolves around how fuzzy and cute he is. Look at him, he's f***ing adorable! And then we get on to... Ugh. Okay, the quality control on the Jazwares line was absolutely horrid by the end of it, and that made their final ever 3-inch figure, Classic Metal Sonic, a terrible figure. He was exclusive to a 6-pack with Sonic, Tails, Amy, Super Sonic, and a Motobug, which had all been out for years. Why release a $6 figure on its own when you could just use it as a cash grab and get 5 figures you already had? I've seen countless people online saying the paint fuses into the joints and hardens and makes them not work anymore, but because they're greedy and hate fun, they gave him flat blue paint as opposed to shiny awesome paint the modern figure got. And now because nobody bought him, he goes for like $100 on eBay. That's great. But while the figures were great for the most part, one infamous line is their plushes. They look so off-model and weird. It's confusing how they release this, but also do this. They got a lot better as the line progressed, but they only released like 10 plushes. They were going to make characters like Eggman, Knuckles, and Big, but they were all cancelled. Then we get to Tomy. For most people, you either loved them or you hated them. It all comes down to whether you like their Sonic Boom line, basically. For what they are, they're pretty good in my opinion. The biggest complaint with them was that compared to the Jazwares line, these had barely any articulation. Articulation is kind of a personal thing. I don't really mind it all that much personally, but I could see why people would. But there's no denying the character choices here were terrible. For the first year or two, the only figures we got were Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Styx, Eggman, Orbot, Cubot, Shadow, and Metal Sonic, but that was it. There were no new characters besides those 10. But what did we get? Variants! Who could forget such classic characters like Dirty Sonic, Oil Tails, Bruised Knuckles, or Slimy Styx? Yeah, so instead of something like Jazwares where they turned the sculpts into something cool that was from the games that people would actually want, they just made them stupid paint variants that nobody wanted. Yeah, it's clear that this is another instance of solely marketing to kids. Kids don't know any better, they're just like, Mom, I need the Knuckles that got his ass whipped. We have Knuckles at home. The Knuckles at home. And then when they eventually got to the Collector series, which was a godsend of a series, they made black and white and translucent classic Tails. Huh? Oh yeah, and they canceled all the Boom characters wearing sports jerseys. Moving on. I didn't make a category for Jack since they haven't made all that much yet, and what they had made so far is pretty good. Just make a silver figure already. God damn it, just please do. So now we're just gonna move right on to weird crap from the Sonic movie. The Sonic movie got a huge international push with merchandise, so there's quite a bit to talk about from all over the world. First off, here's a popcorn bucket that makes Sonic look straight out of Minecraft. I'm sorry, I had to. Here's another popcorn bucket that looks more accurate, but, I think I'll just take my Minecraft Sonic bucket for my own safety. There's this Sonic decapitated fuzzy head put on a keychain. There are these two plushes released in Russia by a company called PCO Group, who also made these Sonic Cup topper figures with the original design of Sonic, which I happen to own, thanks eBay seller in Russia. And finally, the Sonic movie Build-A-Bear. Sonic mascot costumes exist. Ever since the beginning, there's always been some 30-year-old divorced man pretending to be Sonic at E3 for money, so let's talk about those. Now, thankfully, most of these are pretty good, but we still got some stinkers. Like, how about this Tails? It was made when Sonic 2 came out, and I know what I said, but there's no excuse for these eyebrows. Mofo looks like an angry bird. Then we got Sonic from Sega World Sydney with blue arms. Also Sally from Sega World Sydney, who looks like every 2009 internet creepypasta antagonist. And then we finally got the classic, Sonic with an expression unknown to man on his face with a shark fin for a spike. Also, when looking up Sonic mascot costumes, I found this. Also, I found this. So now we're done with the categories I made, so let's just move on to some random stuff. This section isn't really going to have any structure to it, so I'm just going to try to keep this in chronological order as best I can. Starting out, we have this lovely Halloween costume with ears sticking out of the sides of his head for some reason. No gloves, and a mat that goes all the way across his nozzle. I'm scared. There's this pillow made by a company in Spain called Play-by-Play. It was available at carnivals and is extremely disgusting looking. Then 20 years before Sonic Boom, Tomy made these Sonic figures, which were some of the first ever figures of him, and oh god, they're all hand-painted. Look at this! I want it. Though they did make figures of badniks and enemies, which are super cool nowadays, including a figure of a real fun Splats. Sonic Cars? No. Sega World Sydney's Sonic plush set is his horrifying Tails that makes me want to lock my doors at night, and for some godforsaken reason people will pay hundreds of dollars for them. Then we have another item from Play-by-Play, this plush. This plush with yellow skin, diagonal eyes, rock and roll hands, and a belly button. This plush unironically had to have been made by a bunch of boomers who had no idea what Sonic was, I swear. Sure. The Sega company wants us to make a stuffed doll of that good old rascal Sonic the Hedgehog. Is that the one with the red hat?
No, you idiot! That's Crash Bandicoot!
Ah! Then we get to the Sega Prize Europe set. I don't know if I consider these bad, but they sure as hell are off model. And we're just left to wonder whether that was intentional or not. And now we get to is probably the worst Sonic merch line of all time. This line is infamous for its lack of quality, care, and accuracy. This line strikes fear into every man who sees it. That's right, it's the Toy Network Sonic plush line. What do I even say? Just look at these. They're horrible. They have so little stuffing, they look nothing like the characters, they have expressions no one can explain. These were only available at arcades and amusement parks, and it shows. They made Sonic, Tails, Amy, Knuckles, Shadow, Cream, Rouge, Big, and Eggman. Yeah, these were made on the cheap. But that's not all. Oh no, I didn't mention the variants. They had an entire line of nearly all the characters dressed up in seasonal holiday clothing. They made a lot of these. Like, a lot. For years, people were at a loss if these were even officially licensed because of how bad and weird they were. But let's just go through some of my favorites. Easter Shadow, Tails dressed as Uncle Sam, Sonic with green St. Patrick's Day shoes, Queen Irish Amy, Shadow confessing his love, Amy with a hat, Eggman with an Easter egg, Shadow wishing a happy birthday to the USA, Captain Sonic, Camo Sonic, Snowman Amy, and of course, my boy drug smuggling Tails. And there are a hell of a lot more I didn't mention. Oh yeah, I almost forgot, they also made this weird crappy Silver Sonic. You know, f*** this, I'm done. So that's a look at some of the absolute worst merch to come out of the Sonic franchise. I know I missed a lot of it because it would be impossible not to. Leave what you think is the worst Sonic merch below. Tell me if you guys think I said something was bad was good and good was bad. I really don't care either way. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to go bleach my eyes because my innocence is gone. Bye!